Welcome to the debut episode of Judge a Character, where I examine comic book characters who have been portrayed in a wide variety of ways and then determine which is the best interpretation. Today's episode is Rogue. Now, a lot of fans of the Rogue character don't seem to notice a total lack of consistency when it comes to how their favorite character is being represented. For starters, let's just look at the movies, where she is first shown as a shy little girl and is taking on the Kitty Pryde/Jubilee role as Wolverine's sidekick, while also being the love interest for Iceman. But if we go back and look at her in the X-Men animated series, she's a full-grown adult, and most importantly, she has a big personality, which she uses to overcompensate for her inability to touch other people physically. Plus, she's a total Southern Belle, full of slang and phrases and Southern charm. But in other media, her accent and her mannerisms are not quite as over-the-top Southern. And speaking of which, if we go to the cartoon X-Men Evolution and its spiritual successor, Wolverine and the X-Men, Rogue has a much more introverted personality. She retreats as a result of her not wanting to get too close to people because she can never touch them. And in X-Men Evolution, Rogue was even characterized as a goth. Oh, and also, both of these later cartoons showcase the rogue part of her name a little bit more, as her associations with villains were played up, as well as her back and forth nature on being good or bad, where in the movie and in the original cartoon, her heroic aspects were emphasized over anything else. And while yes, the original cartoon showed her affiliation with Mystique and her run-in with Miss Marvel, this was only fleeting, and her temptation to the dark side really never came into play much afterwards. Now, of course, this brings up the issue of her powers, because in the 90s series, she is shown to have her Carol Danvers powers, flight, and super strength. But in Evolution and in the movies, she is shown to just have her energy absorption power. Although she is shown in Evolution to be a skilled fighter, and Wolverine and the X-Men also show her to be fairly cunning. But okay, now on to the verdict. First, the issue of her powers. Now personally, I prefer her to have the Miss Marvel power set. This gives her something to do offensively other than just wait around to see whether or not she can touch someone. And even if she is trained in hand-to-hand combat, all the karate classes in the world aren't going to help a teenage girl fight the Juggernaut. And now moving forward, in terms of her personality, the verdict goes to, yet again, the 90s animated series. I just think it's much more interesting and complex to have her overcompensating for her power with positivity rather than negativity. And moreover, I like her expressing herself by being proud of her Southern roots. I like her Southern vernacular, and I don't need her to be made more accessible for the mainstream. So in the end, the 90s animated series has the ideal Rogue portrayal for me. But what do you think? How do you like Rogue being portrayed, and who else should I tackle in a future episode of Judge a Character? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe right here to Dave Knows Wrestling. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, Dave knows.